Gamers of Reddit, what caused you to go in your biggest fit or rage while gaming? Not being able to skip cutscenes, dying at the same part over and over, and having to rewatch the cutscene beforehand every time. I'm looking at you, Kingdom Hearts. Hey You, Pikachu, a game for the N64 with a microphone peripheral that lets you talk to Pikachu and give it certain commands. Only thing is that the microphone was cheaply made, and the game was using 90s voice recognition software. 8-year-old me was too young to realize that some games are just poorly made, even if they have Pokemon in them. The game reduced me to screaming my head off for hours trying to get Pikachu to swing at a dang Pinata. Sorry, Mom and Dad. I played that game for about an hour and gave up. Pikachu, by the trumpet, picks up a watering can. No, by the trumpet, sets down watering can, then picks it back up. Pikachu, no, by the trumpet, buys the watering can, and then I quit. BF4 won't load the main menu because the connection to EA Online was lost. It's the main freaking menu, it should need internet to load. Not to mention it's filled with bugs once you do get in. And then BSP, you miss 100% of the shots you take. Patrick Bark, executive producer on Battlefield 4. Rubber Band RE, frick that crap. Just do a better job programming the competition instead of allowing them to cheat or having them just gang up on me. Yeah, Mario Kart, I'm looking at you. Did anyone else see the Super Smash Bros. Melee April Fool's prank to defeat 15 cruel enemies? Well, I did, but it was long after April Fools. The joke was that upon beating 15 enemies in Cruel Smash you unlocked Sonic and Tails as playable fighters. I tried hours upon hours doing that task, only to find out it was a hoax. I ended up defeating 15 in a match, but boy was I disappointed and extremely pissed off when the match ended with no new challenger approaching afterwards. When my mom pulled the cartridge before I could save in the water temple, I lost everything. And when she's dying you can pull the plug on her. Sorry, that was cold. 90th minute Bulls rebound ball, and the keeper with his glitch toy dirts the ball into his own net. Bonus points if you lost the game by conceding this goal. Even more bonus points if this was a cup final. FIFA 15. I love you. User shots. 20, 17. CPU shots. 1. User 01 CPU. SF2 Turbo Hyper Fighting for SNES. Frick Guile for cheating so much with the Sonic Boom attack. Same goes for M. Bison and the Torpedo attack. I became so enraged at it, I chewed through the cable of the control pad. Then I smashed it and ate one of the buttons. It was the yellow one. Back when I was heavy into WoW, whenever I happened to do Battlegrounds I would always target the number 1 killer on the opposite team. One AV I come across a mage who had been completely dominating people. I, a rogue, finally found him out in the open and attacked. They were actually really good, but I was in the zone and managed my cooldowns perfectly. Mage was down to about 10% health and I was still at about half when I got hit with a Frost Nova. Right before I could use Vanish to get out of it, my antivirus update popped and my screen minimized. By the time I got back to WoW, the mage had emote laughed and killed me. I don't know why, but literal physical anger. To this day I still think about it occasionally and just get mad. Guesses struck my pride. Yes, I know I'm a loser. PvP used to be instant rage for me, though it was like crack and I kept coming back for more. Another couple rage-inducing instances I'd like to add to your list. Random DCs while healing in a raid. Accidentally hitting the Windows key and minimizing the game. Eventually just popped the key out so I wouldn't hit it anymore. I don't throw fits around, but when my 800 hours Skyrim save was corrupted, I ended up being down for like a week and I have ever since always compared my other Skyrim saves to that one when I have played new saves. I still get a little sad thinking about it. Because of the Elder Scrolls, I always make multiple saves. I had the same thing happen to me with Morrowind, and I had plugged in so many hours I wanted to cry. Probably playing Burnout Takedown. When trying to start a co-op game, my friend did that thing everyone does where you move the selection just before I press A, but it carried on to the point where I somehow got to the "Are you sure you want to delete this save file?" He clicked A and I saw my 11-year-old life flash before my eyes. Was playing Call of Duty MW2 and got noob-tubbed when I was 1 kill short of getting a nuke. I threw my controller at the wall and one-hit code my table with my foot. Last time I ever played that game. For those who don't know, the noob tube was a grenade launcher attachment that you could use on rifles for easy one-hit kills with questionable accuracy. A friend used to play COD4 online in his room and would get extremely mad over dying and lag, etc. I remember he used to have a little computer chair on wheels which sat right up close to the television, and he would put his feet on the speakers in the sides of the TV. He was yelling out loudly and swearing his head off one day, which was hilarious to watch. Kind of like an animal in the zoo. Plus there were multiple broken Xbox controllers strewn across the floor of his room, and tipped his dad over the edge. And his dad yelled right back at him to shut the frick up. His dad hot being more serious and pee off over the course of an hour from another part of the house, and he had had enough of the yelling. My friend's next death in COD had clearly enraged him, although he did not yell out as he had done every couple of minutes intermittently up until that point. He coiled back in his chair and tucked his legs into his chest, with the broken yet determined look of decision, before exploding with both feet and double kicking the TV on each side. He fell straight back off the chair because of the force of his legs slamming into either side of the TV, and as he fell he hurled the controller over his head and into the wall. He wasn't smiling when he stood up, and I hear the sound of his dad storming across the unit while trying to hide the huge smile on my face and hold back heavy laughter. I noticed that on both sides on the TV where the grated plastic covers the speakers were completely shattered and the speakers were fully exposed. Hilarious. I don't understand this mentality. Whenever I've started to feel my blood boil when gaming online, I have always just stopped playing, switch it off and then do something else. I just don't understand why people continue to play and play when they're clearly becoming more and more angry. Lagged when I was doing a Bale run as a hardcore level 98 paladin in Diablo 2 and died. My mouse mysteriously went through my window. For my older brother it was International Superstar Soccer for N64. We were kids. I scored a goal against him. He raged. I scored another. He raged harder. I scored another. He was raging so hard he could only spit out consonants through clenched teeth. I was afraid to score again. I let him get one back. He seemed happy. He gloated a bit. I scored again. He punched me in the arm, and I felt warmth raise to my neck. I dropped the controller, not on purpose, and ran to mum. She and I saw that when I flexed my biceps there was a dent right in the middle. TLDR. My brother punched a hole in my bicep. All you had to do was follow the dang train. CJ. Frick you. Smoke. I was following the dang train, and the RC missions were a pain as well, especially on the PC. That was a B, but for me the monster truck mission was just absurd. Frick 4-wheel drive. Finding out my mother had sexual relations with a 10-year-old kid from America, I asked her to come clean to dad about it. Also from Britain, Russia, India and God knows where else. Modern Warfare 2, High Rise. 23 kills in, airstrike and chopper gunner, about to break my nuke virginity, sniped with thermal. I was so mad I turned off my Xbox and went to bed. This was at like 4:30 PM on a weekday lol. FIFA I defenders. We're on team pressing. I'm telling you to close dude down. Why are you running away from the dude with the ball, you fuck nugget? League of Legends. I was 2-2 in my diamond promo games and I had just locked in my favorite champion while he was stupidly strong. Then our internet decides to go down on us and I'm forced to look while our team gets torn apart. One frame every 20th second. I was about to say I only get angry when I play ranked and lag. It's the absolute worst sometimes. After 500 hours spent in the Storm Peaks lulz, look what I got guys. Time lost Proto Drake. Haha, I was just doing daily. Call of Duty, World at War. The veteran mode in that game can go to heck. I beat it, but that was the one moment where I literally cried cause it seemed impossible. Playing Dark Souls. I kept dying to Ornstein and Smaug, but then I finally gained the upper hand and killed Smaug. I got Ornstein down to a sliver of his health when my controller died. Dead. I still need to jit gud. The small airplane mission in GTA San Andreas on PS2. I spent days trying to fly through the hoops within the time limits and failed every time. Verbal and physical rage was not contained. RIP PS2. Fully completed Ratchet and Clank 3. When I say fully, I mean I played it so much the money counter reached its limit of 999, 999, 999 bolts. Every secret, every trophy, every gun max. Played through story mode 16 times. Save file corrupted. When I was 14 years old in the late 80s, my best friend's parents took the two of us on holiday to a crappy caravan park in Scarborough. Cold, dreary crap hole in northern England. The park had a games arcade with an original Double Dragon machine. Me and my friends spent a whole week and a lot of coins playing that game endlessly until we got to the end, beat the last boss, and finally, also inexplicably, we had to fight each other to see who would be the ultimate victor. At this point I should mention that my best friend was always much better at games than me and loved gloating whenever he beat me. It killed me. No matter how much I practiced, he always managed to humiliate me at every video game we ever played. But, amazingly, on this occasion I was beating him down. After a hard-fought battle, he was down to his last shred of life, while I still had plenty left. It would only take one more hit to finish it. I was sure to win, and the pain of all those years of being second best would be soothed. To this day, I am haunted by what happened next. My friend got his character to launch a roundhouse kick at mine, which I attempted to jump away from, but I fumbled and ended up jumping off the edge of the platform, plummeting to my doom. Game over. He's still my closest friend, but I didn't speak to him for about 6 months after that. I still remember that faithful day. Oh so long ago. It was 7 years ago and my video game career was at its peak. No job, no girlfriend. It was perfect. I was 3 achievements away from 100% my first game ever, when I knew what I had to do. Complete no fighting in the war room on veteran. This was a daunting task for a fresh-faced innocent N00B. Hadn't even hit my trolling phase yet, but those time-based motherfucking checkpoints, man. I still have nightmares. The bodies. Oh god, the bodies were everywhere. Cheap shots from eyes that didn't give a frick. And the ones whose heads didn't explode when I shot them. Shudders. They were bad days, Johnny, and before I made it through, heck, there was one causality. That poor window never saw my controller coming. I got that achievement, but I don't know if it was worth the pain. 10/10 ending. My brother decided, against my advice, to let one of his friends borrow my Steam account so that they could play together. His friend then changed my PW and email act. Basically tried to hack my account. Also playing WoW 2v2 with my brother. He is 8 years younger than me, but it was still frustrating. I reached 2000 with my friend, but with my brother we couldn't even hit 1800. Using a helicopter with miniguns as a personal transport. As in, I want to get to the top of that tower. I'll take this helicopter there, leave it on top, prevent it from respawning and take an incredibly important game piece out. Purely because I couldn't be bothered taking the elevator. And I'm more important than everyone else in this game. Also, Captain goes down with the ship, not after the first hit. XCOM does. Every day, I've rage uninstalled the game twice, once over the random number generator and once over it having erased save files spontaneously. I still play it though. I told my friend about and he says it sounds demonic. I've come to realize that the game is actually not running a random number generator. I believe there is a predetermined outcome based on the precautions you've taken and how you're playing. If you bought extra armor for a mission, then you're not gonna need it, because the game will make the aliens miss as you've made the ritual sacrifice of prophylaxis. Still, you had to get it, because if you didn't, the aliens will never miss and you're all predestined to die. I also made the retarded decision of playing with the added mechanism damage roulette, which means guns do a much wider range of damage, i.e. even a good gun will do 1 point of damage sometimes. The problem with this is that while it does cut both ways between you and the aliens, you have to score a lot more hits to the aliens than they have to score on you. If you have one bad hit and one good, then that can mean you're fricked. If the aliens have one bad hit and one good, that means that they're right on schedule, and you're gonna have to adapt to the wounds received. I freaking hate that game and I will probably put at least a couple of hours into it again tonight. Really only two scenarios make me angry. 1. When I play like crap even though I know how to play, but I just can't seem to play like I normally do. Playing CS and just can't land any shots pisses me off. On the flip side though, those days where everything just clicks and you're playing great without even trying. 2. When the game screws me. Lag compensation, lag glitches, balls that shouldn't affect me. Crap, I have 1000-bit fiber and have extremely low latency most often. I don't want the opponent's crappy internet connection screwing me over. The more it happens, the more rage it builds. Inaccurate kill zones on FPS games. Unloading a half SMG clip in your torso should be more effective than 2 shots in the lower leg. I am talking about you, COD. I have a boxer, as in dog, who has this tendency to take off running if you make sudden movements toward her. No, she's not abused nor has she ever been abused, she's just a bee. I was about to start a raid. Just before the pull, I felt something tugging on the cord of my nice gaming headphones. Knowing it was my dog, I reached down to block her and get the cord out of in front of her. Well, her being the twitchy bee that she is, takes off running while tangled in the cord. This results in my headphones being ripped off my head and out of my computer, where she then drags them down the stairs, goes around a corner and slams them into the wall, causing one headphone to break off and snapping the microphone arm. As I am chasing her with the rage of 1,000 suns burning in my eyes, she makes it outside, with the headphones cord still tangled around her, and drags my now completely fricked headphones through the dirt. It took just about all of my willpower not to fricking murder her the second I cornered her. Instead, I took my rage out on my door, which now has a few decent dents in it. Also, unrelated, those twin gunships in Half-Life 2 on hard difficulty. God fricking dang it. Not long ago I tripped over my headset cord while going to the toilet in the middle of a comp game of CSGO. Result: bust HDD, bust headset, bent PCI slot from my PC, taking a 3-foot dive off my desk onto the floor, and to rub more salt into the wounds I got a 7-day comp ban for abandoning a game. Anytime I get a Russian teammate in a competitive game like Counter-Strike or League of Legends and they decide to do whatever the frick they want. On the bright side, I am getting closer to speaking fluent Russian. I had once built a whole family. I didn't take any shortcuts. I didn't water my rosebuds. I paid my dues and slowly climbed my way to the top of my career. I had found a nice girl. She gave me the 2 most adorable kids I've ever known. And one day I went outside and accidentally decided to stargaze. That's when out of nowhere a satellite fell at the exact spot I was stargazing. I died instantly. At first I laughed uncontrollably. What are the chances? Then it slowly dawned on me that I will never see him again. Then the short breaths I took from laughing changed to whimpers, yearning for the life I had lost in its prime. That's my story of what happened to me playing Sims 2. A freaking satellite killed me. Maxes has a really sick sense of humor. I actually cried and screamed "New." My parents ran to my room worried, only to find me screaming at a computer monitor. Every now and then I catch myself missing him, and this happened almost 10 years ago. Was playing Borderlands 2 and ran low on ammo with very little money, so I kept dying and losing money in a constant cycle. Rockstar servers on the first day of GTA 5 heists. Frick that crap. Hey John. Yeah Joe, what's up? Let's replace our fricking servers with mashed potatoes and NES cables. Fat fingering on a Clash of Clans raid and dropping all of the rage spells at once. The only place with more rage swirling was my soul. A while back I was playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare online with a few friends. Love it or hate it, I always sniped in FPSs. Back when I was very young and was playing Halo online, we didn't have the best internet connection. I would lag anytime somebody go close to me in game. Best way for me to survive was to hang back and put rounds down range from a distance. Anyways, I can't remember the name of the map, but it was an old train yard. It had a grassy hill on one end. I was lying down there. I could see down a long corridor. There was a building on either side, and another at the far end. I saw a guy run out from the far back left of the corridor. I take aim and hit him square in the head. The icon for Juggernaut pops up, the perk that gave you extra health and somehow let your survivor snipe a bullet to the dome. I line up for another shot, but before I can steady my crosshairs again I'm taking damage. Next thing I know I'm dead and watching the kill cam. I watch as he turned the corner and gets hit by my bullet, then looks down the scope of his little P90 with a red dot, somehow putting it right on me, and gets the kill. I was furious. My parents were asleep at the time upstairs so I couldn't yell or rage or anything. But what I did do was vow to fix this situation. At the time I was in college with no real direction in life. Things were not looking good for ever moving out of home and becoming a real adult. But after this I told myself I was going to learn how to program, write a game and fix this so next time I run into that son of a bee, I came out on top. No juggernaut, no sniping with pistol ammo, real physics. And so over the next few days I got a book on programming and studied it on my own. And I got good at it. And over the next few years I picked up more books and I started writing more intensive programs. One of the first things I wrote was a projectile motion simulator. I had to dig through my old physics books to find the equations and it wasn't smooth or fast, but it would predict the path of a bullet and plot it on screen. Now after a bit of this I decided this is probably what I should be going to school for. Over time I got an associate's degree in CIS. And that plus a certification I had gained earlier led to a job, something that paid well. I was able to move out and get a new car. And today, just shy of 3 years into my career I have been able to move halfway across the country in the name of adventure. Been able to support myself and it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. All because a while back I was cheated out of a kill. It seriously turned my life around. TLDR. I rage quit so hard I got a career. Conceding a last second equalizer after dominating for the whole match in FIFA, in the final game of Division 1 where a victory would have meant my first title. Had to buy a new joypad. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.